board. But now I'm saying that as a junior, you are unlikely going to speak to your board again. You'll be speaking to your CFO. And your CFO might be a little bit more technical than your board. And your board, remember, it's a little bit diversified because it will have finance people as well as non-finance people. So that's another thing you need to be mindful of. Sometimes it could even be a little bit lower and you're not reporting to a CFO, you're reporting to a senior finance manager. And you might be reviewing the work of other colleagues junior than you. So your technical has to be clear, whereas and balanced off with somewhat of what professionalism in the response. So this is what the APC is all about, and how we have then thought about it in terms of then bridging both the ABC and the APC, and also when we crafted the structure of the ABC. So that is what I wanted to just clarify, so that when Manda now unpacks how you need to look at the timetable and how the different elements in the timetable look like, you have a better understanding. But for me, this big picture was necessary so that we are fully aligned and you are clear when you're going to make this particular decision. And before I take questions, so what I'm going to do is pass it on to Manda. He will then break down the program for you, and then afterwards we'll then take a bit of question so that we can fully align in case you need some clarity. But if you have some questions, I'm trusting that Manda will be able to to close those for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rendani. If maybe I can confirm if you guys can hear me, just a confirmation. All right, I see a thumbs up from Lebuan. Thank you so much. Compliments, everyone. I'm not sure if we are still saying compliments. It's the 8th day of the year, but I will say it either way. So compliments to everyone. I hope you guys are doing well and are eager to hear about our program today. Maybe just for introduction, as Randani said, my name is Manda and I am the academic head. And what it means is I'm stuck with you guys. So it means that from the beginning of the program until the end of the program, we'll be stuck together. And I will then have to ensure that you guys receive the best of the best when it comes to the delivery of the program, based both from the admin perspective of things as well as from a technical delivery. And this year we have a very good program for you guys. Each and every year we really take a step back and we do reflect on how we should improve from the previous year coming into this current year. We always sit down and ask ourselves, how do we make sure that the program itself is relevant for you guys? How do we make sure that this program works for you guys, right? And not just now move, things from the prior year coming into this current year. So we ensure that indeed we make those improvements. And also part of the improvements is just, understanding the journey of, some of our ABC candidates who moved from this program going into the APC program, to ask, what are the challenges that they are having, and we ensure that we address those challenges from this program. So that when you guys now move from the ABC going into the APC, we have already addressed, some of those challenges, and you now don't struggle with the same challenges. And we know that we have prepared you enough and you are on your way to be successful. So this year, like I said, we do have a good program for you guys, both from a technical perspective, both from an exam perspective, as well as from a professional perspective as well. Rendani, when he was taking you guys through, he alluded to the fact that APC is a professional exam. So we ensure that from this point in time, we are also equipping you guys with those competency so that by the time you also go into the APC, you are already, well equipped when it comes to the technicality, you are well equipped when it comes to the exam technique, and you are also well equipped when it comes to the professional side of the program. So the slide that is here is now a snapshot of the program that we have for you guys. So this program is divided into two phases, right? So the first phase is what we call the transition phase. And for me, this phase is important because before we even go to the details of IFRS and details of the standards, we need to first understand the approach of the different disciplines. I always say that how you look at your accounting, it's sort of different from how you look at strategy, for example. How you look at the tax is also different from how you look at auditing. So you need to wear that hat, right? And these are some of the things that, you find that APC candidates are also struggling with because, they don't understand the approach that they need to take when it comes to accounting. They don't understand the hat that they need to wear when they deal with the different disciplines. So for me, this phase is quite important because it then addresses that. It then says with IFRS, what is the approach that you guys need to have? How do you need to see IFRS? How do you need to study your accounting and study your standards? Same thing with auditing. How do you need to then think about it? How do you wear the hat of an auditor and make sure that you also are able to go through the handbooks of auditing? So that's then the first phase of the program, which is to unpack IFRS, tax, auditing, and management accounting. So the first class, obviously, that we're going to have a welcome to the bridging course. And it's in this class where we're going to take you guys through our competency framework. So we've developed a competency framework for the APC, which then details different competencies that you guys need to have by the time you finish this course. So it means that we are going to go through them and you're going to sort of like understand the competency framework, because as we go through the classes and the tutorial sessions, we'll always go back to the framework and we'll always then match everything that we are doing to the different competency framework. Then from there, we're going to unpack IFRS, we're going to unpack tax, and we're going to unpack auditing. So in the first phase, you see that we also have management decision and financial management. So this program has two layers to it. So the first layer will then be the students or candidates who are going to do the first three disciplines, being your accounting, tax, and auditing. And then they jump straight into the APC program. And because you guys come from a strategy background, you come from a management accounting background, we're not really worried with your strategy. We're not really worried with management accounting. So you'll then do the first three disciplines, and then you'll move over in this current year to the APC program. But there will be those candidates who will say, but Manda, I did this a long time ago. So I want to then be in a position where I refresh my knowledge, right? I might have forgotten how to calculate the work. I might have forgotten how to do a capital budgeting question. So I would like to then just do the full year. So I want to then include management accounting as well. And then I will then be comfortable enough to jump into the APC course. And then those candidates will then jump into the APC course in the following year, because they will have then done also the management accounting. So there is two layers to this. And those ones, like I said, we're going to do the first three, will then join the APC. So after this transition phase, we will now be comfortable that you guys understand the approach. You understand how to highlight the standards, because it can get complicated. And trust me, we still have people also who are doing APC, some were even CAs that still don't understand how to read the tax legislation, for example, right? How to read the auditing standards. So it's in this phase where we are going to ensure that you guys understand how to highlight. What do I look at? When I'm answering a discussion question, Do I copy the entire paragraph, or do I go and then select the relevant elements only? So after we do then this phase one, and now you guys understanding the approach, we are now going to move to phase two. So phase two, that's where we're going to have our classes. So we have two different types of classes, right? So we have the lecture sessions. And in these sessions, that's where we're going to go back into the technicality. We're going to go back into the details. And when we go back into the details, remember we still have APC in mind. So the focus again will then be on why we are doing some of those technical issues, right? If it's a standard, why are we doing it? Why do we have to then include the elements that we're including? Why are we presenting it in a specific manner? So as we go and then address the technicality, we want you guys to then be in a position where after we are done with the phase, let's say we are doing accounting, you guys understand why we do certain principles. Because that is going to come in handy when you guys go to the APC. Because APC will then be all about you understanding the why behind certain technical issues. Why is it being done? So we install that mentality from the get-go when we do these lecture sessions. And that's why in these lecture sessions, what we then do is we're going to give you a tutorial for you to go and do, right? And for you to go attempt. So as we then unpack some of these technicalities, we're going to use some of these tutorials that are really technical in terms of unpacking some of these issues. And those are the tutorial sessions. Then we have what we call, or those are the lecture sessions rather. Then we have the tutorial sessions. So these tutorial sessions is what again Rendani was referring to when he was saying that we are now bringing in the APC tasks. Because we want you guys, by the time you go and move over to the APC program, you are in a position where you understand the APC, you understand how you identify triggers, you understand how you really unpack those triggers, as Rendani was saying. So in these tutorial-based sessions, before you go, we are going to give you the pre-release, right? So as Rendani was busy explaining what the pre-release is, we're going to give you that 5 days before these tutorial sessions so that you guys can be able to unpack the pre-release and you are able to identify those triggers, right? But don't worry, we're going to go through everything together, right? We're going to still tell you what a pre-release, what a trigger is, and how do you identify some of those things. But we're going to give you that before you come to these tutorial sessions. So we're going to give you the pre-release, right? Which is the equivalent to the pre-scene with SEMA. And you're going to unpack it. You're going to identify all the issues there. And before you even come, what we're going to do, because like I said, we're going to be working with you guys until the end of the program. We're going to give you a pack. And this pack will include now the lecturers unpacking the PRI, and then also with slides that are detailing to some of the triggers in that PRI. So it means that you first do it on your own, right? And remember when Ede came at the beginning, she was talking about taking, ownership for your own development. So you're gonna first then do that, and then you have these resources where you guys can then see how the lecturers are unpacking it before you then go and read the class tutorials or the class tasks. And the reason why we are doing this is we are still getting you guys to understand the process. So we want to use these class tasks for you guys to understand how we then move from the PRI going into the information on the day. And how do we then go and write the information on the day? And hence, we then do that feedback of the PRI before you even go and write the class tasks. So that by the time you go to the class tasks, you already understand if the process that I was doing, was it correct? Where should I improve? And then you can then improve before you go and write the class tasks. So when you go to the class tasks, the first thing that you get there, we're going to give you an hour for you guys to write the class tasks. So we're going to give you information on the day, right? And then this information on the day will then have the tasks of the day. and you guys are going to then write those class tasks. So we're going to give you an hour to write the class tasks. But after doing that, we then have this personalized AI marking feedback, right? We call it NI. So after attempting these class tasks, you guys are going to then submit it immediately, right? So we'll give you a bit of time, you go and submit these class tasks. And what's good about now this NI or this AI marking is that it gives you instant feedback. So before we even unpack the task with the lecturers, you guys are already going to have the results and you're going to have the feedback from the task that you guys just wrote. And I think it's a good thing because I remember also, during my varsity days, what used to frustrate me a lot is writing something and then it takes time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for me to then get the results. But then this becomes good because immediately after writing the task, when everything is still fresh, you guys now get the results. And when you guys get the results, what's good about this AI marking feedback is that the lecturer as well at the same time is going to get the results, right? And then the lecturer, before they come and unpack the tasks with you, they now have an understanding of how the task went. They now have an understanding of the areas that they need to focus more, the areas of difficulty where you guys are having issues before they come and then unpack those tasks. So by the time now, after you guys write, you guys have feedback, the lecturer is now going to come and it's now going to then take you guys through that class task. But now that process becomes very effective because you guys have your results, you guys already know where you went wrong, and the lecturer as well has an idea of where you guys are struggling and where they need to focus more. So that is the class tasks. So it means that, for example, the first discipline that we're going to start with is accounting. And as you see here on the slide, you'll see that the timetable talks about these lecture sessions that I spoke about that deals with the technicality. And then you have now 5 tutorial sessions. So it means that in those 5 tutorial sessions, we're going to then be doing the same thing. The class task, feedback, instant feedback, and we go to unpack those class tasks. And after that, we now have the mini case study. But before we go to that mini case study, we have private consultations in between. So it means that you can then go and do a class task, and then the lecturer can then do the feedback, but you miss something. You now have another, you have another sort of option to then go for a private consultation. In those private consultation, it's going to be you and the lecturer, right? Which is good. And the good thing again about this AI marking feedback is that we keep track of how you're performing. So it means that if you did the first tutorial session and then you did not really do well, and then you go and then attempt the second trial session, we still can then see the feedback from the trial session that you first did to the second trial session. And we can then see if there are now improvements, right, based on the competency framework that I spoke about earlier. We then see if you are managing your time properly. Are you improving when it comes to the technical issues? So already we sort of like have now how you are performing. And when you go to this consultation, the lecturer also have that view. So before you even come to the lecturer, after, let's say you have booked a consultation rather with the lecturer already can then see how you have been performing from the first tutorial session to the second trial session, and they can also prepare on their side before they even come to this consultation. Because the last thing we want is for you to come to the consultation and the lecturer does not have any idea on how you've been performing throughout these tutorial sessions. So the good thing about this AI is that the lecturer also has a view of how you've been doing. And by the time you guys come and then have those consultations, it becomes more effective now because they understand how you have been improving. They understand some of the competencies that you've been struggling with. And now it means they can prepare, they can also have prepare something for you so that at least we can improve and you are able to achieve those competency framework. Then on top of the private consultation, we now also have the mini case study. So with the mini case study, that is going to come after the end of each and every discipline. So if you check the slides, on the 31st of March 2026, or rather on the 28th, you have the mini case study that you need to attempt. And this is coming after all those tutorial sessions and the assistance by the lecturers when they are busy unpacking the PRI. So it means that by the time you go to the mini case study, we are confident that you now understand the PRI process in relation to that specific discipline. You now understand how you can unpack the PRI, how you unpack those triggers, and how you then attempt and address the information on the day in relation to that specific discipline. So this mini case study, now you have a lot of tasks that you are writing, right? You're going to write 4 tasks in this mini case study. And remember, with the tutorial sessions, it's just a 1 hour attempt of the task, and then you go and have the feedback discussion with the lecturer. But now you have this opportunity where you can really demonstrate that competency framework that I spoke about. Because now you have 4 case studies, or rather 4 tasks that you need to go through. We give you the PRI, and then you go and then you have 5 days to unpack the PRI, to identify all the triggers, and then you go and write the mini case study on the day. And this mirrors again your APC. So really throughout this program, you now have the advantage, because you have the advantage of the technicality where we go back and unpack the why are we doing things. And you also have the advantage of I'm already starting to do these APC case studies. So by the time I go there, I now have a clear picture of how I need to attempt this APC case study. So this then becomes the mini case studies. So again, with the mini case studies, we will then also assist you guys, or will then give you the reflection of the attempts. So it means that we're going to then be assisting you guys with those discussions and really unpack the mini case study so that you can see where you went wrong and see where you did well. And again, everything is going to be powered by this AI marking tool, or this NI, right? Because it is the one that is going to give us this instant feedback. It is the one that is going to then be telling us if we are hitting this competency. And then it's the one that at least you guys can already see your trend, your improvement. Am I gaining when it comes to business acumen? When it comes to time management, am I improving and am I doing well? So this will then be the structure of the discipline. So all the disciplines are going to be like that, right? So the first one that we're going to start with will then be accounting. So accounting will then be like this. And then from accounting, we'll then be comfortable that you guys are good to go. You guys understand this, the technicality and the APC structure. Then we're going to continue and then do the same thing with the text. And with the text again, understanding the legislation, understanding how to unpack it, and do the same thing, have lecture-based to deal with the technicality, which will have the tutorial. And then we'll also have We'll also have these tutorial sessions that will now deal with the class tasks. Then we'll continue and do the same thing with auditing. Okay, and then like I said, there are 2 layers. There is those that are going to now jump into APC, and then we'll then have the ones that are going to say, no, let me just finish the rest of the year, and then I will then be able to jump over next year. Okay, so if we just go to the next slide, so this next slide just then talks to how the feedback looks like, right? So the feedback is quite comprehensive because it tells you not only what you did not do well, but it also tells you what you did well, which is quite important because you need to ensure that you continue doing well on what you are doing, right? If you have a competency that you are hitting, If you have a competency that you are really good at, you then need to also reflect and understand that, oh, okay, it means that I've been doing well here, meaning the approach is working. So let me continue what has been working. So we then go and tell you what you did well, and it will give you an analysis of those competencies that you are getting right. And the reason why, right? If we're then saying the technicality or the technical competency, you were able to demonstrate it, you were able to have a good coverage of technical skills, will then tell you why, and it means that you can continue with that approach. It goes further and also tells you about what you did not do well, right? And I mean, obviously, the reason for this is to identify the gaps. Where are the gaps? And how do I then improve on those gaps? And remember, when you get this feedback, like I said, we still have the discussion session with the lecturer. So it means that I'm having this feedback before the class or before the discussion. I can also then talk to the lecturer during the class to say, but hold on, I thought I was able to demonstrate business acumen. So I thought I would have achieved this competency. So I'm saying from this instant feedback that I've received that I didn't achieve it. So where did I go wrong? This is how I was thinking about it. Was my thinking wrong? And then now we have those fruitful discussions between you as well as the lecturer. So this feedback also tells you about what you did not do well. Obviously, with the hope that we need to then work around this and we need to then improve this so that you guys, when you write the next class task, you are able to now move those what you did not do well, and now they're sitting on that positive feedback up there. It goes further and tells you about the advice going forward, right? So it tells you what you need to then do this. And you know, we in each and every case study, we then sit as well as lecturers to then say, if we are then talking about a competent student, what do they need to have here? Which competencies do they need to have? If they don't do well here, what is it that they need to do? And then that filters through to the advice that you need for you to then improve on those competencies. So it then details the advice, what you need to then do well, how you need to go about it. And this is a practical advice, right? So it tells you step by step in a practical manner how you then need to improve. So that you don't, you don't find yourself just reading the advice going well and not really knowing where to start and not really knowing what to do. So this advice going well will then give you, practical ways on how you need to improve. Obviously, like I said, you still have those consultations. So it means you have the chance to go to the consultations. So that's what it then details. And then if we just go back, I just want to touch on the previous slide. Sorry. So down there is the competency, and we're going to unpack this, right? So it has the 9 competency framework. It will also tell you what you have achieved as part of the outcome, what you did not achieve. So it also then deals with this. And like I said, the goal at the end of the day, when you guys are done with this bridging course, is to make sure that you have identified all the competencies, or you have now improved and you have achieved all the competencies from competency 1 up until competency 9. And we are really going to get there. Okay. So that's basically what we have in store for you guys. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of questions. So I'm not going to go through this slide. Maybe we should first take questions, Rendani, and then we then can come back to the slide, and Rendani can then take you guys through. Do you have any questions? Are you guys happy with the program? All good. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Right? So it means that you guys are happy, right? Right? If you guys are happy, I'm happy. Yes, we'll definitely get there. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to take it back to you, Rendani, if there is no further question. Thanks. Rendani, are you there, or Ere? Oh, I see a hand. Yeah, maybe as Ellen is coming through, Sabelo, you can go for it.
Thank you for a detailed program.
Yes.
Just a quick question, because life happens, some of the days you may not be able to attend. How do you then catch up with those sessions where you are able to miss them? Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, thanks. And I mean, it's a good question. It's a good question. Life happens for real. So all the sessions are recorded. So at the end of each and every session, we upload the video. So it means that you can always catch up on the session. And I mean, if there are more questions that you need to ask, we always have that Viva Engage platform where you can always then take the specific lecturer who was taking the session to say, okay, I was not able to attend this session, but you were discussing this element. Please just unpack it further for me, and then we take those discussions there. But all the sessions are recorded, and you should be able to go back and watch it any given time. Okay. Right. I see another hand. I'm struggling to see the name. You can come through.
Karen. Okay, I just wanted.
Oh, Karen,
Sorry,
yes.
yes. I just wanted to ask.
Yes.
You mentioned that the classes will be recorded. Are they only going to be live, or they'll be also on Teams so that we can watch if we can't make the class on that day?
Yeah. So they're gonna be recorded, and they're gonna be included in the workspace, right? So obviously we'll take you through the workspace and how it works and where you find some of these recorded sessions. So let's say the session was happening on Saturday and you can't attend Saturday. After the end of that live session, it's going to then be uploaded in the workspace, and from there you can really watch it at any given time. But we're going to take you through the workspace and how you assess those recorded sessions that have been uploaded, so that we make your life easy.
I think maybe just to elaborate further on what Amanda was saying, Eda, we no longer have physical sessions. All our classes are on Teams, and they are recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I missed the question. I thought maybe you were still on the recording. Yeah, so all the questions are on Teams. Oh, sorry, all the sessions are on Teams. Thanks, Ellie. I had missed that.
That's right.
Thanks, Victor.
Sorry, thank you. I just wanted you to expand more on the difference between virtual classes and self-study. I think I saw that on your website. So yeah.
I will come through that. I think it's somewhere down the slides, about 1 or 2 slides down.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Any other question before I hand it back? Okay, so
Okay, I wanted to ask one more.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this during the year when we, I guess, are training for APC, do we end up writing at the same venue of where we eventually write as like a trial, or do we always write at in Dunamu?
Okay, I will also take that. We have our assessment, the APC assessment, the one which you see towards the end. In this case, for the catch-up, it will be the final case study and the supplementary case study. Those are venue-based assessment, and what it means is that you have to go to a physical venue so that we simulate the same process you'll have as an ICAS or SAICA or ICANN assessment. So we do not previously we have always been able to occupy the Midrand Conference Center. It's just opposite the Gallagher Conference Center, and that for us it also assists so that if you're going to be using the Gallagher, the traveling and the logistics are similar. So also with and the venues for the other regions are also already available also on our, as you finalize the registration and also as part of some of our announcements.
Okay, thanks. And I wanted to ask something else. So some of us who have like the older books, is it necessary to buy the current books like 2025, or is 2019 still fine, or 2021, whatever old books we have?
Manda Ndani, the SAICA handbooks, are the 2019 versions fine? I know that there were a couple of standards updated, added. Do you guys know which version? But for any other candidates, if you're going to buy, we always recommend for you to buy the latest version. But maybe for those who have older versions, team, maybe you can assist.
Yeah, sorry, I have 2021, not 2019.
Oh, 2021. Dandani, I see your mic is open.
Yeah, so there've been one tax legislation. Obviously, the tax legislation updates each and every year. So it's always ideal to have that as the version. And then auditing, I understand that there've been some improvements in the standards. So it is also advisable to get the latest one. Latest in our view, it is 2024/2025 or 2025/2026. So if you have any version that you acquired in the last 12 months, it won't be necessary to invest in new ones. But if you have some of the older ones, I think it's more prudent than not to invest in new ones, because sometimes it's those small things that you get to see. I mean, there was even a year ago, we had some candidates that were referring to accounting standards like your IFRIC 4 that no longer exist, that were replaced in about 2019, 2020, 2021 or so. We had candidates referring to things like SIG 12. We have seen even the consent from SAICA with candidates still referring to IS 17, even in the 2023 assessment. So the problem is, if you don't invest, you never know when you're reading what is new and what has been updated and so on. So just to be safe, I will say rather invest in the 2025, 2026, or 2024, 2025 versions. If there is any need to have them updated, because you can bring anything in the APC, you can wait for the item to be triggered and just download, say, a copy of the Income Tax Act and deal with those specific sessions. But other than that, it won't be advisable to use very dated standards.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. I see, and SD, what's the full name? Oh, Saritha, yes.
Hi there. It's Rindani, right?
Yes, sure.
So going back to the venue-based assessments, the APC assessments, I see a chat in the box there. Are you referring to the APC assessments at the end of each discipline, at the end of like accounting, tax, auditing?
No,
Is that
no.
what
So,
we're
so, so, so
referring
those
to?
ones will be all digital, or otherwise non-venue based. So the venue based ones are the one for the actual APC assessments. So you will not probably have seen it when you registered for this program, because that option is only available when you register for the APC, because we then want you to confirm where you will be writing physically. So we have about 2 case studies that you'll need to write physically as part of our protocol. So that is only in the catch-up program later on, not now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
sure. I see. PC, yeah,
Yes, hi, yes. Can I just confirm?
sure.
Can we still take those packages where you do the ABC and then transition into the APC?
Yes.
immediately, or do we need to re-register again?
No. So if you register for the one that says ABC plus APC, so you will see when you register, there is a notice that will give you that will tell you how it's going to work. But at some point in time, we are going to deregister you from the ABC and put you on the APC. That will happen in the week before the APC kicks off, and almost a week after the ABC is done from auditing phase. Yeah.
Okay, so are we joining the catch up?
Yeah.
The catch up. Okay.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
do we just need to write the 2 exams, and then if we pass them, we get the certificates, or is there more exams that we need to write in order to qualify for
100%.
EPC?
Yeah, it's the 2 exams.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have to pass both of them, or can we just pass one?
You have to pass the final one, but you have to sit for both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I see a number of them in the chats. Are you good, Ere? Or anything I need to handle?
Maybe to clarify from Rufaro, I'm not 100% sure I understand the query or the question. Maybe you can it's either Rufaro can open the mic and maybe just confirm, because I'm not 100% sure I follow.
Okay, I just wanted to find out. I want to register with ICAS.
Sure, you I'm not sure if it's from my side, but you sound very faint on my side.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Randani, can you hear her? I cannot.
I can,
How
but it's
about
very
now?
faint. But yeah, go for it. I'll tell you if I lose you, Rufaro.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ask.
Uh-huh.
I want to register with ICAS.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was going through the requirements, one of the requirements is that they require like a confirmation letter from my current employer. But at the moment, I'm unemployed, and I completed my strategic case study for CIMA in 2023, and I'm yet to submit my PER, which I'm almost done with. So in that particular case, will I be able to register for the APC and stuff? Because I won't have the any recommendation letter from an employer, as I am currently unemployed.
Yeah, so maybe you can drop us an email and we can just check with Shireen from ICAS. But yeah, this is the first time that we are hearing about this because I think from our understanding, they mentioned that when you apply as a CIMA candidate, you need the letter of good standing from CIMA. You need your qualifications, as in your undergraduate qualifications. They need to be there, and yeah, I think that's just about it. That's just about it for you. But please, if you can share that communication or whatever you might be talking about via admin at endunamo.africa, then just say we spoke during the open day. Then the team will assist with connecting with ICAS and just clarifying, and will provide you with feedback.
Okay, no problem. Can I just have the email address on the chat?
Yes,
Sure.
I'll edit.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. So yeah, so if there are no further questions, you may continue and close the session for us, Ere.